Once upon a time, man lived at the mercy of an environment he could not understand. He hunted game, sometimes he found it, and sometimes he went hungry. He planted crops, sometimes they prospered and sometimes they failed. He sought out roots, berries, insects. Sometimes they were plentiful, sometimes scarce. He fell ill. Sometimes he recovered, sometimes he died. And in each case, the reasons for success and failure were beyond his comprehension. He lacked that understanding on the physical world on which our present culture prides itself, whether in his way of life, we see nobility or simply squalor. We are quite safe in pronouncing primitive man to be ignorant. Of course, he wouldn't feel that way, or he did. He wouldn't admit it. And since the last person we ever admit anything to is ourselves, in his own mind he was perfectly happy that he knew all the answers. Occasionally, he might want to consult his local wise man. Sometimes he might even travel to the next village, or even further, to look for help. But in general, he was secure in his conviction that the body of knowledge available to him was sufficient to account for everything that happened. Thus, the Pueblo Indians of New Mexico had no difficulty in accounting for a lack of rain. Someone must have made a mistake in performing the complex rituals of the rain dances. Thinking back, it wouldn't be too difficult to point a finger at a particular performer and a particular mistake. Similarly, the Durban Islander, confronted with the failure of his yam crop, knew what had happened. Someone had bewitched his plants and his own counter charms hadn't been strong enough to protect them. In our terms, of course, primitive one was killing himself. His need for psychological security drove him to create a set of beliefs that enabled him to account for his environment and events that took place in it. It led to the evolution of system of rituals that enabled him to cause and control those events. Today, we are past all that. We are several centuries into the age of reason. Science and technology present us with either the actuality or the promise of control over our environment. Perhaps we cannot yet stop a thunderstorm or control a flood, but we know why they happen and we can mitigate the disasters they cause. We cannot summon up rain, but at least on occasion we can create rain by the satisfactory mechanic method of dropping ice into a cloud. And with modern technology, we can lessen our dependence on the random benevolence of nature. Can listen. We can listen. We can listen.